y'all, what's good? Headed to work. Y'all, yesterday I was at the gym. I went to work out. I was going back to my car to get my gym bag so I could take a shower. And what I do, I go in and I work out in my workout clothes, and then I come back to my car to switch shoes, take off my tennis shoes and socks, and then put on my shower shoes and get my gym bag. And while I was at the car switching out shoes and grabbing my gym bag, I noticed from what I could see, and I do wear glasses, so when I have my glasses on, I have 20/20 vision, an attractive guy who was physically fit. I believe he was Latino. I live in Texas, y'all. This is this little Mexico, especially for the area that I was in, checking me out. And I was looking at him, and he was looking at me, and I was looking at him thinking, is he looking at me? And I always think to myself, when I'm at the gym, I always think to myself, or I have always thought to myself, I would never talk to a guy that is at my own gym, because if he's at my gym, he must be broke, because my gym is one of the cheapest gyms. But I try not to think like that, because I've dated plenty of guys with money. Matter of fact, the wealthiest guy I ever dated was also one of the most pecunious guys I've ever dated. He watched the cost of everything, But plus, I've never really, I don't think, looked good enough, or whatever you want to call it, enough for a guy at the gym that I was also attracted to be looking at me. So he was looking at me, like, just kind of staring. And I was kind of looking at him like, now he was across the parking lot, but it was still daylight. And I was just thinking, is he really checking me out? Me? Do I look? It's like my hair was down. I did have on red lipstick, even though I didn't have on any other makeup. But from a distance, maybe I look good. I am definitely losing weight, So I was just kind of perplexed. And I just talked to you guys about this whole walking around smiling. I told you guys about a subscriber who was talking about her level up, and there's a lot of you guys who talk to me about this, that you're leveling up, you're seeing dermatologists, you're losing weight, you're doing all kind of things to help your level up. And this one subscriber, and again, she doesn't comment very often, but she said one of the things she does now is she smiles at everyone everywhere, especially guys. And so another subscriber had mentioned that recently in a comment, that she has, resting B face, witch face, but take off the W and put on a B, and she's trying to fix that. And I told you guys before, I have that all the time. When I was showing my face on here, and even now when I edit my videos, I'll notice myself frowning all the time. And it's not that I'm trying to frown or trying to look mean, it's just oh man, I brought water with me and had the water bottle open the whole time, and it spilled all over my seat. Gosh darn it. And I literally just had a dream about flooding. Anyway, and I had a dream, y'all, about cats. There was like an invasion of cats. There was, it was Sula, and then it was a cat chasing Sula, but at first I didn't know the cat was chasing Sula. I was just wondering why Sula kept hitting my leg. And then when I looked down, they were moving so fast, I thought it was just Sula, but it was two cats. And the next thing you know, there were just all these cats that all looked like Sula, but at different weights. And they were all like just taking over my house and running around. And there was like this huge fat one, which also looked like Sula, trying to chase all the other ones. But I knew it wasn't Sula because it was too fat. And anyway, sorry, y'all. Anyway, where was I? So we were talking about this resting B face and trying to fix it. And so he looks away kind of, and I'm still, he's looking away, and I looked away too to, watch what I was doing with my shoes and whatnot and getting my stuff together. And then I happen to look up again, and he starts looking at me again. And he's getting closer. He's getting closer to the door, which is where my car is parked by. And I can see, from a distance, he's not bad on the eyes. And he looks away again. But before he looks away again, I notice he's not just looking real quick and then turns away. He's like looking again. And once he looks away that second time, I think, Kat, why didn't you smile? And I'm like, I don't know, because I didn't think he was looking at me in an interested way. Maybe he was looking like, what is this black girl doing here? I don't know, because there's not really a lot of black girls that go to that gym. It's definitely like like a little Mexico part of Dallas. I don't know. It's just, I think it's still just hard for me to believe that men might be interested in me. Who knows? He could have been married or anything, but I guess I need to get out of this. So what's ironic about this is I was telling, Jay from the UK was asking me some stuff, and I was telling her, about some situations, about my house or whatever. And I was telling her, and she was like, Kat, I know you're not at your goal weight right now, but you really should start, dating some guys who have some skills that can help you with, your house. And when I started dating back in the day, like when I very first started dating, I remember I was dating this guy. Well, I went on one date with him, and y'all know how open and honest I was back then. Still the same way, but I got a little bit more finesse. But I was open and honest with this guy about me wanting to marry, a man that had money, and he was a blue collar worker. Like he did something with floors for a living, like some kind of manual work with floors. He knew how to install floors and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things I've definitely noticed, even in my neighborhood, like when Mexicans start working on a house, it's not just one of them that'll work on the house. They'll all get together. It seems like all they homeboys that they know, and they'll all get together and work on the house together. And I get the impression that if they're friends, that there's no money changing hands. They just all get together and work on it together. And I could be wrong, but the ones that I've talked to, that's the impression I get. I don't really know. Like if you know how to do this and you know how to do that, everybody just comes together. Kind of like the way they used to do barn raising back in the day. Everybody comes together, contributes what they know, and get the job done, kind of thing. So she was like, you need to start basically dating some people that can help you with your house. She was like, of course not sleeping with them, just blah, blah, blah. And so I was thinking about that guy, because he knew how to do floors. I'm thinking, girl, he know how to do floors. I'm sure he knows somebody know how to do the other stuff you know how to do, And, but I also remember, he brought flowers to the date. We had a good date or whatever. But, when I said something about, y'all remember back then I was way over 200 pounds. This is before I started really trying to even lose weight. And I was saying something about wanting to date a guy that makes, a lot of money. He was saying something about, women, and they, basically wanting a guy with money instead of a good guy that may not make a lot of money, whatever. And I wasn't trying to hear it. I think back then I was watching The Seven and Pretentious Pill or whoever I was watching, and so I don't know. But it's just like just yesterday, like with that guy at the gym, I just cannot believe I didn't even think to smile. I was just so like perplexed that, is this guy really looking at me? Like, I almost wanted to look around like, me? And it's just like, yeah, y'all, I can't. So it's like that. And then when I went back in the gym, like to take my shower, I was kind of looking around to see if I saw him, and I didn't. But of course the gym is huge, so who knows? He could have been around there somewhere and I just didn't see him. But it's like, you do these things, you work out, you lose weight, you put on lipstick, you try to look better, so you can, attract a better quality man to live a better quality of life, a better standard of living. And then men are interested in you, and you're so not used to it that when they show interest in you, you can't believe it. It kind of reminds me of like the faithless Christian, like you pray to God for stuff, and then when God starts giving you the stuff, you don't accept it or whatever because you can't believe God answered your prayer, or you had no faith or something to that effect. So I remember that song by what's his name, T-Pain, say, oh, I can't believe it. So hopefully I know now when I go to the gym, yeah, it's something about red lipstick. I'm telling you, when I'm in traffic and I have on red lipstick and I'm trying to get over, honey, the men will let me over, the women will let me over, everybody will let me over when I got on that red lipstick. Even if I have on any lipstick at all, if it's visible, people are just nicer, But I had that red lipstick on against my skin, baby. I'm telling you, it works wonders. You can definitely see it from across the parking lot. So that red lipstick probably just caught his eye. But y'all smile. Seriously, it works. I can't believe I did that. I just like potentially fumbled the bag. And it's like, even if he wasn't looking at me in a romantic interest, it's just good practice that But, you know, part of your leveling up is just your, you know, the way you look. Do you look approachable? You know, I think a lot of times in Blackistan, we look mean mug and B-face and, you know, and all that kind of stuff because, you know, when you're in the hood, you can't look too friendly because people will test you, you know, or you have people coming up you trying to hit on you that you don't want hitting on you. Like every time I go to the local 7-Eleven, it's always an able-bodied, you know, Tyrone out there asking for money. And then get mad at you when you got $1. Like, if I did have $1, I wouldn't give it to you. Go get a job. You know what I mean? It's just like, and I don't say that, of course, because I want to keep my life. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like, so you keep that mean face, and then when you're out and about in other spaces, it doesn't serve you well. You know, so just smile, y'all. When you're anywhere but basically in a dangerous part of town, smile. It, you know, you might be you know what I mean? You could be attracting somebody unknowingly that you want to attract. Or you might be you know, the Bible talks about having good manners and not using coarse talk, because you might be in good company and be so used to the habit of talking coarsely that when you're in good company, you speak that way unintentionally. And it's the same thing to me with smiling. You know, you might be so used to speaking or, you know, not smiling, but when you're around men who could be potential suitors, you're so used to looking mean because you haven't always ward off dusties that you don't smile when you're supposed to, you know? So, learn a lesson from me, because, you know, I could have been a contractor or anything. Somebody knows how to build houses from the ground up and is looking for a wife or anything, and I'm sitting here looking mean. And it's not that I'm purposely looking mean, it's just the way I be looking, which is mean. Anyway, I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all be easy, like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what habits it is that you have now that you want to change and that you're working on trying to change. And that's definitely one for me. Thinking positive is one for me. Being positive about myself is one for me. Listening to positive stuff is one for me. Saving is one for me. Trying to eat healthy is one for me. Trying to eat less is one for me. Fasting at least 3 days a week is one for me. All right, bye, y'all.